Hello and welcome to Lasak with a home with the Maya LG washing machine, Halloween dishwasher, Samsung fridge freezer and a Valentine fridge here in DPK with brand new ROTKA fridge freezer and in the washing machine, and with this beautiful ROTKA LG which is washing machine. And today we gonna do the super early Valentine wash. Yeah, today. For this Valentine watch I have saving a long time, for a long time, extra pink stuff, so well, okay, so I have pink slash dark pink stuff, so I have one dark pink bath sheet slash small beach towel. It's really dark, so could be with, and then a single pink bath towel, then a single pink apron, which I'm gonna check. Here we are. Anyway, there is this yak and there's a tissue. Yeah, I'm coming that way. That there is the hanky, but no, there's a tissue which I don't want to go in. So that's pretty much why it's usable to check the pockets sometimes. So single apron, this pink, and this matching pair of tea towels. So one tea towel with this flowers, pink, and the second tea towel is just this flowers, yeah. And then I have a single hand towel, before going any further to use any further load, I'm gonna use one of these color catchers. So color catcher, I'm gonna use one scoop of the, actually half scoop of the non-bio powder, which is just enough to go. But because there are quite greasy stains on something from this clothes, I'm gonna use one of these pink dank meat tablets. It's pink violet 3 compartment tablets. So, which we're gonna use certainly one more complete, and this is another one single apron, this with this flowers, which is my apron. I just gonna use it in the club. And this matching pair of the tea towels. So this one has stains from some chocolate, maybe from the cake. We have bacon left, the cake from my grandmama's birthday. So this is one of the matching tea towels, and two of these matching tea towels is this and the matching kitchen towel using as the hand towel. Pretty simple. And final thing, I've got this pink cleaning cloth with a lot of stains, just of coal actually. Yeah. Not the fullest load I have done, but I have yet more, but I don't think we need any more. So, well, I have asked you what cycle do you prefer, and somebody says the cotton plus intensive, so I am gonna just take cotton yeah, 60 actually. Intensive rinse, go. Let's just see if it stops anyway. So cotton 60 intensive rinse for everybody who wants to be waiting for the content. Now I think this load is quite full, so I've got here more like tea towels, but I actually don't want to overstuff the machine, the machine with pretty much more things. So there is about 6 to 7 kilo actually, even if it doesn't look like. Bag laundry is really heavy soil anyway, so it's just that. Towards 2. It's quite a short cycle, but it'll be quite an interesting though. So there is the 2 hours 2, mostly pink / dark pink load, and as you can tell, it's the earlier Valentine wash. I have the Valentine earlier than the other years because I just want to have filmed this video when I have so free time. And I don't know if I will have more free time somewhere. So yeah. we'll see. We will need it to top up. Just go a short fire up. Shouldn't be needed to top it up actually, even. And the aqua is looking quite brown actually, roughly. I don't know why. So the Valentine is kind of the birthday for everybody who loves somebody, and as I love the ROTKA and the Maya, I will do I'm doing an early Valentine wash in the ROTKA, though with the Maya I don't know if I will have the chance anywhere near maybe the next year. So there is all the pink related to the pink cloth. I've saved for a lot of time. And I don't want to overstuff the machine, especially because or us, the Con 60 squash ultra wash, and basically there are quite heavy soil things. And of course, you probably want to see some movement. You probably don't want to see that the ROTKA can move hardly ever. So there's a lot of thing, and I think the Con 60 plus intensive and intensive range was kind of requested by the wash lover 2K and 8. I don't know. I know for sure that was requested by somebody, so we'll see how this cycle will perform. Okay, I'm just gonna enjoy my coffee, actually. Well, and as you may know, and I do have to say it, I do have to tell it one more time, I had to save this pink stuff for a longer time than usually. I have to save for usually I have to save for 1 week or 2 weeks or something like that. That pink apron is actually stinky since last Christmas still, so my mama has used it for about 14 days and then I have waited for the Valentine's Day sufficiently. So the ROTKA wouldn't show the full load unless you would just take the cycle with the aqua already in it, so it's okay. And basically, I think this load is pretty enough, but it's also pretty, to me, it's like pretty medium to big load. Something seems to run actually already. So the color catch would make him out pink or red. So I just and well, if you wonder where a hell the name ROTKA is, why ROTKA is like rotavirus, because when I bought the ROTKA in here to work in this house, I had the Korka at home, and the Korka was physically the first machine which did have physically the name. First was the Whirlpool, then was the Bosch Logic 6 and the Electrolux dishwasher, but the Whirlpool top loader, the Electrolux dishwasher and the Bosch Logic 6 didn't have the nicks, didn't have the names, like physical names. Really, the names was straight with the Korka, which was from epidemic of the coronavirus, because we took the ROTKA, we bought the Korka straight before coronavirus came. Korka was bought on 13th of 13th of March 2020, and on 14th of March came COVID. So that's why it was Korka. And since I have the Korka at home, I just tried to give my second machine the name from the other virus. So, and that's the ROTKA. That's what the name is from. And then the Hello Inca and the Maya. So the Maya has been buying on May 2024. So that's why she is the Maya. She was the Maya, but then I changed it to the Maya. What I can and I should do, at least first when the first month of the name. Basically, the Korka was on the first month also Corona, and then I changed it to Korka because I think the name Korka suits the machine better than the Corona, and basically Maya seems to be prettier than the Mayovka. And then I have the Halloween dishwasher at Instantly, which has been installed on the Halloween 2023. So that's where all the names for my machines come. Basically, the Indesheet machine, I didn't give her a name or a nick, but basically it is not my machine, it is the machine of the house, so I don't have the reason to give the machine any name. I would call the machine by some nick only if it's my machine, like physically mine or my parents or some machine that I'm physically close to, like the Orange Pico. What was not my machine, physically mine. That's why I didn't do any more cycle of the Orange Pico after COVID came. But actually, it was machine of my school, so that's why. And I didn't have my own machine at school, so that's why I did named the Orange Pico the Orange Pico. And basically, I wouldn't name the Indesheet because it's not my machine, and I have the ROTKA LG. So once I've got my machines and my appliances, I don't have the reason to give the names to anything else. Like, yeah, if I would use the Indesheet machine for longer filming purposes, then I gave her the name, but because I am now not using the machine for longer filming purposes, because I can't, because of the strange rules of this institution, I don't have the reason basically to call the machine anyhow. So I don't have the reason to call the machine by any name. And the reason why I actually took the combination of the non-biodetergent of the powder and the tablets was because I have some quite greasy examples of the clothes, so that's why I've used the tabs, because since the tab was also pink, so I've used just a bit of powder for disinfection, and then the tablet. For remove any grease and oil stains. Well, basically, I have to do the TST cycle at some point. I have to do the TST cleaning cycle at some point whatsoever. Basically, what I have is more tea towels. There are 4 or 5, but as I want to basically leave the tea towels for more 95 wash rather than 60. So I was using with a couple of tea towels for this purposes of the Valentine video, and especially the tea towels which was less heavy soil. I have 2 that are that's a really heavy soil. Some kind of nasty greasy stains. And not only grease, but that is grossy chocolate stain, so I think for this purposes it's best to see how this cycle is preforming. And then basically you saw there was the tissue in the pocket of the apron, which is basically much worse than if there was a hanky. If there was a hanky, then I could wash it passively on 60 or leave it on 90, but the tissue is something you don't really want to go in your filter, because otherwise the filter was clogging. It's been completely clogged. And basically, if you watch a Lover 2K8, if you don't like my videos, I don't mind it basically, but I can promise you some heavy load test next weekend. For the ROTKA, when I will wash a blanket and a beach towel whatsoever. So that might be the bit of bigger load. But for just the purposes of this Valentine video, I want to have a bit of fun. So I don't want to load as much. I want to load just a nice lift load. Now, there are the intensive tumbles that the ROTKA starts to do whenever she's got reached the heating. Basically, the cotton 6 still going to be more intensive than actually the Eco 4060. And basically the cotton 60 also does truly hits 260. Bloody stomach. The Eco 4060 does hit about 30, 35, maybe 40 sometimes if you go with the 60. So it heats about 20 degrees less. But that's what I want to say. You have to choose, you can choose from anything else. You can choose from several 60-degree wash. So if you want the lighter 60-degree wash, which washes for a long time at about 40-50 degrees, then you can select the Eco 4060. If you want the wash which washing at real 60 for the shorter time, then you can select the cotton 60. And if you want the wash that's heat up a little bit higher than 60, for example to 70 or 75, you can select the anti-allergy 60. There is the there's all the neons at the washes. And basically the machine doesn't have any of these. That has cottons. The industry does have the pre-select temperature switch. Basically, I mind that the industry has the pre-select temperature and options. Basically, she doesn't have a cotton 95 without pre-wash. If you want to do a cotton 95 without a pre-wash, then you can't. In this old machine, because the industry has an automatic pre-wash on 95, and you couldn't deselect anyhow. There is not deselectable. There's an automatic option. Same with the synthetic 60. So I think the industry has the automatic pre-wash on cottons COM 90 and synthetic 60. And basically there is no manual from this index, so there is basically, if I was gonna use the tabs with 90, if I was gonna use the tabs, and I do think, and I thought the 90 doesn't have pre-wash, so then I would use 2 tablets straight into the drum, and you can imagine when you put 2 tablets straight into the load, put the load straight on it, and take the gun 90, and then you find out, oh, it has a pre-wash, so you can do anything else. Then you don't have any more tablets, or you can't add it anything else for the main wash, except of the powder. So if you don't know wherever the machine has the automatic pre-wash or not, because she doesn't have the display and anything else doesn't info you. If you don't know the machine has the automatic pre-wash or pre-soak or whatsoever, they might suggest you split the detergent between A and B, because it will flash both compartments anyway. But if you just don't know if the machine has an automatic pre-wash or not, then I suggest you to split the powder between A and B, and not using tablets or any sand beads. Since I did have used the when I did testing out the indices before Mrs. Bartoshua came, I have used once on cotton 90, and I have tested, and I did use the powder straight to the drum, because I didn't know the index has the pre-wash automatic, but as long as I find it out, it perhaps has the pre-wash, then I add more powder to the B compartment, and it was turned out basically everything fine. But if somebody doesn't know that the cycle has a pre-wash, and imagine that you put 2 liquid tablets for heavy soil load, and then you find out, oh, it has a pre-wash. But there is no information about it has a pre-wash. Basically, it has an icon for pre-wash and main wash at once. So basically there is no there's no stray info about the cycle having stray pre-wash, which is really bad, because imagine you would use gel, or you would use something which you need to go straight into the main wash. Basically, if I use the sand beads, as I do use sometimes, but I use the sand beads only for the final rinse, not even for the main wash. Because the sand beads does get flashed, and does get flashed after the main wash and pumped out, and then the sand beads doesn't do anything what they could do. So for me, the sand beads are something like the rinse for the dishwasher or something like the fabric sand. So the sand beads should go in the final rinse. Or at least for the rinses. Not for the main wash. Basically, that's the thing with this with this old and even with some modern machine, you can't trust them fully, because on this industry you never wouldn't able to tell that the industry has the automatic pre-wash unless you would test her out. And basically with the PHR pet hair remover on the Bico is the same, because the PHR does the appearance basically automatically. It's remove the pet hair and then do the main wash, but you will never tell. You can never see the machine does the appearance or pre-wash when you have no time display. So basically there was Tanya Chłopaczova who was very surprised who was very surprised basically there was Tanya Chłopaczova who was very surprised that her Beko did the pet hair remover option when she pressed the extra rings. But if Beko combined both together, the pet hair remover and the extra rings, then the Beko should tell at least somebody that they combined it. So basically, if they combine it, they should rethink somewhere, because otherwise I think the pet hair remover and the intensive rinse should be two separate options. Basically, the intensive rinse should add one rinse and not add any pre-rinse or pre-wash and not delay any spin. Wherever it's the pet hair remover is about add the pre-rinse, delay the intermittent spins and add the one more rinse. So that's all about the pet hair remover, PHR. But the intensive rinse in Beko should be the separate option. So the intensive rinse is just to add one rinse and not to delay any spin. But if Beko combined the two together, if it's so that you select the extra rinse and you press the extra rinse and it includes the pet hair remover, then something is pretty wrong and Beko should at least tell. Beko should at least write somewhere in the manual that they combined the two options together, if you know what I mean. And basically, the same thing is with the Regis creases. If you select the Regis creases at the Bosch or add some LGs, then the LG still does the intermittent spins. The Bosch still does the intermittent spins at 800 and then final spin with 4 bursts and 800. But if you select the Regis creases at the Beko, then the Beko automatically fall into the delicate mode. What is meaning the Beko automatically delay every intermittent spin and then does the final spin with the 800. So that fall in the delicate mode. But when people doesn't know it, and I didn't know it for the first time, the Orange Pico does it. They might put the heavy blanket or heavy sofa throw in with the Regis creases. And then I was stranging that it was not doing intermittent spins. And there was one hell of the suit of intermittent on the final spin. And the machine stayed filled up with suits after the finish of the cycle. What was pretty bad. So at the Beko, the Regis creases option enables the machine to detect the suits lock, since it does only the final spin. And on the final spin, the detection of the suits lock doesn't work. So the detection of the suits lock or of the foam, and basically in general is working only on the manual spin and on any intermittent spins, but not on the final spin. There's the same with Bosch, with Beko, with everything. But if you select the Regis creases at the Bosch, then the Bosch still does the intermittent spin after the wash, after the first rinse, after the second rinse, after the third rinse, and then the final spin. And wherever is the problem, after main wash, or after the first rinse, or after the second rinse, when there is some problem with the foam, the Bosch still adds an emergency rinse if it's necessary. Where the Beko, she does only the final spin, so that enables the Beko detecting the suits lock just right in time. And then you come to the machine and you stranging that half filled with soot. But these are the things which nobody wouldn't tell you. That's basically what I do want to say. And no, it's just not fault of the machine, it's just fault of the people who don't understand the machine, but also the fault of the manufacturer who doesn't inform about how the options are working. So I see that this alt in does it when there is nothing, when there is nowhere telling me that some cycles have the automatic pre-wash, and you can delete anytime. Yeah, see. This is the ROTKA just draining heavy suits. Okay. I think the motor slightly overheats. Okay. sorry, I'm expecting team's call in every minute. So maybe there'll be some sound correcture. Unless the team's call will be later. And basically what was realistic were the aprons and some of the details was what I was thinking. Realistic from my kitchen. But basically the details on the aprons was the most up to horrid. Really smell. And basically the one apron, the pink one, that's what the most smelly was. Stinky, disgusting. And the one, the white details, the white detail with the red stripes was actually, or with the wine stripes was the most stinky. So three most stinky things was above the aprons, both of the aprons was most stinky, and the red and white and white detail actually the most stinky. Because my apron was actually good. It stinks like the grease from the household wheels, but it stinks just decent. But the detail and the apron from kitchen, the pink one and the detail, that was the most stinky detail. It stinks like garlic. I don't know why they stick like garlic, but it was something awful, really. Basically, that are not the worst smells that I ever stank. But basically two most intensive stink I ever stank was basically I can ever smell was the cow shit and cow piss. That's one of the most intensive smell. And second, when somebody renewed the house, and that was. And of course, when somebody is throwing up randomly, that should be one of the most disgusting smell. There was just what you have seen just. That has been the turbo spin, and that's basically the best when the machine stays into the O. She has my jump a bit. I also need to watch that pillow actually. Basically, that's the best when the machine strays into such a turbo spin. Basically, the turbo spins is not different. It hasn't the well, the turbo spin is not different. Turbo spin is different because it hasn't the first burst of the spin, so it hasn't basically the first interval. So that's what differs the turbo spin in from the normal spin. And basically, when the machine strays into the turbo spins, well, all should be okay. if there will be some sound corrector through these rings, it will just be only a little. It just there wasn't said anything but, so yeah. And that's how it should be. In the team scores or whatsoever. On the team scores whatsoever, wheresoever, there shouldn't be said anything like too bad. Okay, bit turbulent, but well. But the balances are detected just in time. Still may. Not really. Wow. Well, to be realist, it was not so balanced whatsoever. Okay. So, 23 minutes, that means 2 more minutes left. And camera is still flashing with ish 2, which is great. Because all it takes is, all it is taking is just the energy from the tripod. Do it. Well, remember ACDC? Even the ACDC doesn't seems to be one of my most favorite music pop group. I even quite like some of their songs. Well, I mean, we had a little like misunderstood with the Washing Lover 2K8 when yes started the washer on cold setting and then yes turned on the sympathetic 60, but I didn't see it. I did see only the cold settings and I've ratings keep that sounds offer to me washing the towels on cold. And basically I don't like washing the tea towels on less than 95 degrees Celsius. I try to keep washing my tea towels on 95 degrees. I only have used a couple just for purposes of this video. Also to make the full, so to say, a bit top tap for the correct level. Even it wasn't needed to top up, so really it was, to be a realist, is somehow between the small and medium load for the weight, but for the room it was just completely full, and that's what it's about. To me, isn't really the main factor the weight of the load, but to me it's the main factor how much room does take load in the machine. So I don't want to overload in the machine, and even if somebody's tell me that I can overload it, my machine, well it's my machine, machine of mine, and I load how I like. Even if somebody would like to overload my machine, I would say no. If you would washing in my personal own machine, you would respect my rules. If I would washing in your machine, then I would respect your rules. But if you would washing in my machine, please respect my rules. That does mean I'm hardly ever overloading the machine. I may do some heavy load tests like 3 blankets or whatsoever, but I hardly ever overloaded my machine. I am separating my laundry, going through colors, going through temperatures, going through everything I should. I check my packets whatsoever. So if you mix your own towels for the whole life, you could mix my towels even in my machine if I let you. Or if you would overload it, your machine for your whole life, no, you wouldn't overload it certainly in my machine, because I wouldn't never let you. And there it is, what it's about. You can wash in someone else's machine, but you have to respect the rules of the user. And if you don't like my videos, then please don't say I should add more laundry or something like this. It's just for the purposes of this video. And that's all I could say. And I would say hello to my good friend Florence birthday 3060, and I tell you that now I could, when I'm looking back, I could understand why you hate my comments about how you mix your towels. Yeah, now when I look back, I could just reverse understand. Could just reverse understand, because all what was, it was all misunderstood. Yeah, it was all misunderstood. Okay. Still a bit turbulent actually. Oh, this is the most crazy. Don't use any software now, because there are some details and aprons. So even if I do use software with the towels, I don't use software with the details, basically because it's a shame with details and aprons. And that's the most basic rule. final rinse. Basically it has four because when you select intensive both, like either the rinses, either the wash, the machine adds one more rinse. So there's four rinses to go. My Choreos for the final spin, and for DA results. Okay, I'm gonna clean my hand certainly one more time so that I don't know this one with nothing greasy and sticky on my hands. Put a fresh bath on my bathroom so that I could really have everything fresh for the course. Basically, there are people who, for example, washing towels with their floors, basically 95. But to me, it's completely awful to wash. Basically, something like towels with the floor mops. I did wash the tea towels with the floor mops in my history that wasn't so dirty, and my mama true wasn't happy, and my mama told me wash the tea towels one more time with something else. Yeah, and then when she saw, and there was the old tea towels from meat, that was basically what was meat to wash quickly. And my mama still was unsatisfying. So that's total gross for some people to wash. For example, the tea towels or towels with the floor mops. Or with some working dust whatsoever. For me, it's not great. To me, it's not great washing the tea towels with the towels, unless it is boiled, unless it is the boil wash or boil wash with pre-wash, actually. Because basically, I don't want to. Basically, if it is the wash only at 60, then I often leave the details and apron separately, but I just use them for the purposes of this video, or a couple of them to the topping up for the correct level. And actually, I'm loading the washer so that you could still see the wash action on cottons, because basically there's quite different about the Eco 4060 from the common. It's quite different. Plus, basically, I want to wish a happy Valentine to every one of you. So basically, and what I'm able to do is one load per day. Basically, yeah. I don't know.
Jockey Andro.
Jockey. Well, there's basically the assist at Mrs. Bartoshova, but it's not my assist truly at the moment, so I'm quite confused because of this door doesn't actually stay properly closed. Okay, this is still too imbalance, at least a bit. Still has to make at least a fair bit more. At least a fair bit more balance. Oops, there's far bit short rectangle. Then what I supposed to expect. But hey. Anyway, so that was the pink / dark pink St. Valentine wash, and let's look at the results. Yeah. Smells quite nice. To be fair, it's a fair bit softer than a fork is gonna be. Bit tangled, but that's basically what you would even expect if you're just washing towels. Since the color catches really works, because it came out with fair nice colors. There was fair bit of chocolate on this one, so yeah, they look to be gone. The stains, maybe. Maybe there is still a fair bit of something. Pink rock. Actually surprised clean. Pink towel. Came out a bit softer than usually. That's mainly because I'm using a tablet. Okay, that was the next example of very greasy. At least the stain seems to be all gone. Fair bit of hole in this tea towel, but there already has been such a hole in there. Oh, there we go. In my t-shirt soon. And towel. towel. Yeah, everything seems to come out really clean. And the color catcher, what there is. Let me go for my extended hand because okay. So I can't just simply reach it. Basically. Seemed. Actually, let's see. Oh! It seems to come out fair bit red, maybe. Not pink. Fair bit red. Or purplish. That's what the color catcher came out. They basically, even if you think your trousers got being color safe, it's not every time. So yeah, this was the full cycle of the ROTKA doing Valentine wash on cotton 60 intensive wash intensive rinse. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment, maybe give thank you. And yeah, see you at the next one. Bye bye for now. Running time was 133 minutes. That must mean 60, 130, 60, 120, 133.